I was on a roll, okay, and Peter is going back to practice is on. It's summer practice for him, but we are still here consistently. Um, Not sure. Um, Tonight, Peter's supposed to be here, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. But I wanted to bring something to you tonight, um, especially from what is happening in Liberia, where it's happening with the rescue team. I have a few videos that I like to show to you, and that video will start with what do you call it? With today's Voice of Liberia show. Okay, we had Mr. George Family, who um, take care of data housing, the importance of data, and all of that today. And it's something that he said that was profound, and it's something that I know, but I'm glad it's coming from him, somebody who a little more older than I am, somebody who understands the Liberian political dynamics of family structure will tell you that, and his own background, we have been talking, when you somebody like me talk, they say, oh, what happened? You hit the government without projecting the future. We don't want to know. We don't want to protect our children. Somebody wrote today on Facebook, Patrick Tuan wrote today. He said at this point, most people, most nations are distancing themselves from the colonial power, the European power, especially most African, trying to find independence to build their own nation, tap into the wealth of their nation, their people, like in the Mandela voice. Mandela said, he said, there are resources in his country, they're diamond, they're gold, but the purest of them all is the children. That we do something and leave something for our children. That what I would have thought would be the mindset of our people as Liberians. But this is not the case at all. This is not the case at all. With us, we're all about eating now and saving, typing into what is there and leaving it for our children while forsaking the other children that make Liberia, okay? Maybe a few percentage of the team, and that's that. That's it, nothing more. So they tied up this contract. Why would a president who have 6 years, maybe a maximum of 12 years, sign a contract for almost 3 times his term, almost 3 generations in the making? Let's listen here. Then we're going to take this there. Let's listen here for a moment. There we go. I'm going to play this really quickly.
It's shocking about the concession contract. This is not a minerals contract where people have to bring in heavy equipment. They have to dig the ground. They got to build infrastructure to bring iron ore from Guinea and truck it through to Buchanan. This is not that. This is a services contract. It's a management and services contract, and they gave the contract for 25 years. It's one thing for the government of Liberia to say, okay, let's accept the argument that we don't have any Liberians that can do this right now. Just for the sake of this argument. This is the largest, the most educated generations of Liberians in our history.
Did you hear that?
This group of Liberians right now in the world is the most educated group of Liberians in Liberia's history. We excel at every area of endeavor. You want brain surgeon? We got brain surgeon. You want heart surgeon? We got heart surgeon. You want physicist? We got physicists. You understand what I'm saying? We can cover every spectrum. problem in Liberia, and I supported this government, is that the gatekeepers of the government have decided that they are going to see every contract that is let as their long-term security investment, even when they are out of government. Because there is nobody that can explain to me that if you put Lofa Julius in that company for 5 years and say you have 5 years to be management, to learn this process, okay? And Liberians should take it over. Let me tell you something, man. When I came to this country, I'd never seen a computer.
Me neither.
I had never seen a computer. I was able to learn to program computers. You got a man in Lofa Julius? They don't have that thing that the plane you coming from. You got it? But he was able to come here and learn it. So you know what it says? It says we can learn. But when you give out a 25-year contract for services, you know what you say to Nova Julius? You can't learn. These
Wow.
people will do this work for 25 years. Now, let's talk about the data. It says we can learn. I reviewed the contract. I did an analysis of it. Okay? Nowhere in the contract does it say that we own the data. It says after 25 years, they will hand the data over to us. Let me tell you a little secret.
Wow.
You know why we still are dealing with Liska? When Liska came to do the shipping, the Liberia shipping agency, you see, because I'm old, I know a lot of history. The Liberia Maritime Authority was the name of the organization before. It was run by a company called Intrusco, International Trust Company. All right? The fellow who was the head and the Tubman family had stake in Intrusco.
You hear it?
When Charles Taylor became president, he decided that he was going to cancel the Intrusco contract. Intrusco sued. You can go online and you can do a search for International Trust versus the government of Liberia.
I'm doing it now.
Charles Taylor's government agreed to pay International Trust Company $15 million to exit the contract. The Cohen guy who ran Liska was originally an employee of Intrusco. He and Charles Taylor and them got in this deal, right, to now build the Liberia, to build Liska. However, the deal was if the government gives us $2 million, the government will own the data. They said, we ain't got the money. So it's okay, we'll build it. They built it, and when it came time to get out of the contract, they said, yeah, we can give you the data, but it will cost you $20 million.
Wow.
Okay? Guess what? We didn't have $20 million. So guess what we had to do? We had to renew the contract. This is when I looked at this contract with these guys, that's exactly what I saw. These guys will create all of the data for our traffic management, our vehicle registration, our people's driver's licenses, and they will have that data. In 25 years, when they come, they say, well, guess what? We built the infrastructure. We built the service. Okay? If y'all want it, now y'all got to pay it for, because guess what? Every one of us on here agreed.
Okay.
Data is gold. So now they have this
I'm gonna
data.
stop here, right
They
here,
can
right now,
monetize it.
with George. Data is gold. That's what he just said. Data is gold. Okay, maybe you don't hear that. People around the world are looking for data. You see, when you get on Facebook, they pay you because Facebook, when those days, Nielsen, Okay, people used to pay people to do survey. People used to pay people to get data from people to even provide. Now they don't. Okay, this is one of the reasons that you see America, they're saying they're going to start TikTok because it's the Chinese company and they're collecting data, meaning the people behavior, what they're interested in, what they do, all types of data on them. That's why they've been asking for an American organization to buy that because data is gold. That's how you use it. So you sometimes you hear data have been compromised. Let me say to y'all, in this digital age, I work in a place where kids, people data are there. I am not allowed to leave the building with it. I'm not allowed to write it down or copy it down. I'm not allowed to print it and leave with it. Once the year comes to an end, okay, that particular information that I have access to is gone. I have no more access to that information because it's personal data. Now, y'all understand they say they're cloning people now, right? You're sitting in Liberia. They have sold your information, your personal information. And the thing is, not only I understand they're asking for your blood type, your blood. Okay. Now, you don't know who they're going to clone. What copy they're going to make of you. That's number one. The whole nation is going to be in the hand of foreigner. Maybe they will create a double ID of you. Somebody could be in India, and another Yasini should be in India or be in Lebanon and commit a crime. Okay? The people are advanced enough, somebody can swap my information in there, even put my blood type. Here I am going to Singapore, I'm at the airport and pull me out. Here I am, somebody who looks like me or design like me, who got in trouble, who have money and everything, and I'm in trouble. And many other things can happen. Okay? So, one thing that George said here that hits home was this generation of Liberians are the most educated Liberians in the history of Liberia. And I want to agree with him. Okay? Look at the children that are graduating. Engineers, neurosurgeon, physicists, biochemists, okay? Marine biologists, all different type of engineering. Nurses, nurse practitioner in different field. Some pediatric, some in neonatal, some in you just name it. Both the diaspora in Liberia. But we are running away from our people. We're refusing to support our people. Folks, I went away for 1 week and then you can come on. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I know I'm on other station, all right, but I'm here. I'm not letting my station go. Oh, our people then Ryan first class. Oh wow. I say Lord have mercy. I am I'm here. Okay? So you heard George. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the second video here about what I wrote on yesterday and what I saw about this lady who um mm, Okay, Josh, let me see, where are we? What I've come to find out is the recurring theme is the same. The last time we had Dr. Gompu on here. And Dr. Gompu said the same thing. The people are not signing the contract in the interest of the Liberian people. They're signing the contracts because they will get kickback or because they have shares in those contracts. They're not doing it for Liberia. Just we just hear about the Talbot family, what they did, okay, but that in Trusco, that Liberia have to pay an arm and a leg to get out of that contract. That's the way the leadership of Liberia have always functioned. Okay, that's it. To hell with the people. That's how they function. They're not there for nations building. They're there for themselves. Yeah, I'm going to play this. This is about the other deal that we're talking about here. Come on, why are you not opening? All right. If y'all can hear, I'm going to start with the first one right here.
Work while we are on break with my colleague, Madam Vabla, to request that the Senate sets up a committee that will work while we are on break with the leadership and the executive branch of government to, in a way, table the implementation of this concession until we can, as a country, address some of the intricacies contained in the quote-unquote concession. Just as Senator Butler said, it is clear that this quote-unquote concession was signed and voted upon by the legislature since 2018. We've come several years with that concession not being enforced. And if at this particular point in time, this government decides to enforce the concession, and we are experiencing the level of disruption across the city or across the country, and there is so much apprehension, it's just but fair that we take a second look and ask ourselves, why didn't the previous government, most likely that is said to have entered into this agreement, not implement it? The wisdom is that if the previous government that reached this concession itself refused to implement it, to the extent that the beneficiary of the concession did not go to court to compare the government. I said did not go to court because they went to court and withdrew the matter. We are debating. Motion what? Yeah? Yeah. But you're not presiding? Yeah, so I want us to take our time how we correct it. No, we're not making a motion. Send up. No, we're not making a motion. No, you're not making a motion. Go ahead. Yeah, so the traffic management group did go to court, and on its own volition withdrew the matter from the court. and sat supinely for years. That will support the belief that they themselves know that the concession had problem. And it will interest you to note that there are two versions of this concession that we are talking about. There's one version that says the legislature did not compromise the authority of the Ministry of Transport. There's another version that suggests all of the functions of the Ministry of Transport as it relates to issuance of license were given to this group. And so we cannot selectively enforce the version of the concession that tend to benefit them and hurt our people and hurt our country. So there is a legal issue here that, in my opinion, the court must decide. We cannot decide on behalf of the court. Yes, I recognize that the Minister of Justice was involved and have been issuing policy statement, but the Minister of Justice is not a court. No, the Minister of Justice is not a court. So there is a legal issue here that requires decision of the court. And to the extent that they went there and came back, it's sufficient for us.
Is there an issue in court? I hear you talk about court.
I say you're not paying attention.
Yeah,
I am saying this concession was apparently passed into law 2018. And from that time, I think 2020. So my thing is, because the government that entered into the agreement refused to implement it, the one with whom they entered into the agreement went to court. And on the pollution of itself, the company withdrew the matter from the court. And it sat here and the government refused to carry out the implementation of the concession. So that tells me the fact that they attempted going to the court, they suspect there's a legal issue which the Minister of Justice cannot do on behalf of the court. The bottom line is, the bottom line is the implementation of such concession that the government that entered into a concession refused to carry out has created problem in the country. I've heard people say the government not going to put down people if they take the responsibility of the Ministry of Transport and give it to the traffic management group. But of course, the government is not supposed to pay people who positions are very redundant. No. All we paying them to do. And I've said, where there's no trouble, we shouldn't look for trouble there. From time immemorial, the Ministry of Transport has been performing this responsibility and the country has been quiet. Now, we have decided to enforce this. And out of a sudden, we are having problems. It will seem we haven't reached the apex of the problem yet, because I trust the Ministry of Transport. On the peripheral of the document, they are targeting increment in registration of vehicles, keke, motorbike. So that's just the smallest part of the problem we are going towards. We can sit and allow this to happen. Then on the economic side, we have realized that if we decide to implement the concession as is, we will lose millions of dollars of revenue.
Liberia, y'all can't hear.
That's the reason.
Y'all can't listen up, Liberian people. Y'all can't listen here. Y'all can't listen. Y'all hear that man? Hopefully he does not go back on his word. Okay? Not only that, they're increasing motorbike rider, keke rider. The children where they create no job for. Okay, I'm sounding. Let me start more professional. I'm sounding really like I'm thinking. Let me say this. Let me say this to all of you Liberian people, because I want to speak for both Liberians home and Liberians here, and all the people in the other professional community. So let me say to hopefully all of you are listening. Okay. Hopefully you're listening. And I'm hoping that this gentleman that is speaking, I don't know him, but I believe he's a senator in the Republic of Liberia, and he's making his case. There are two versions of the contracts. Apparently, one of the contract contradicts what they're talking about. And one of the contract is solely and wholly in favor of the foreigners who are trying to take over that particular agency. And this gentleman is saying the Liberian people have been doing this work. Liberia has not gone under, is not set on fire. Okay. My thought process would be, okay, if Liberians are doing this job and they may not be doing it to the way we think is, how about we have a national dialogue and look for people who are in different professional field, as Mr. Famula, George K. Famula said today. George said, and I quote, and I also agree because I know, they're like, for instance, my husband is in planning and development. He's a structural engineer. He helped lay out this country, Georgia. You check Georgia. Georgia has over 40 billion. Let's say 39 point something billion. I'll round it up to 40 billion. Okay, in budget. Okay, and their office has more money than the whole of Liberia. All right. However, you reach out to Liberians who can help. How about you reach out to the George family? How about you reach out to Lofa Juliet? Lofa Juliet, as a young man, packed his stuff up, took his time off from work, came to Liberia, did a whole layout on the proposal, and told you guys, listen, let's connect the capital. Let's have everybody speaking to everyone in real time. All right. But like I've always said to Liberian people, why would they want to change the system when it benefits them and they and their children? Why would they change it? Why would they want to bring in a stronger and better telecommunication system that is reasonable, that is maybe is unlimited, when they are going to lose the padam, when they are going to lose the incentive that they get for a scratch car? Why would they want to create more road, okay, and have detours and exit routes around the city to make it easy to move, when they are coming, you get to pull over for them to leave? Whether your people are dying, okay, and you have entrusted them with a job to make your life easier. No. The moment you give them a job, they make you miserable. They play Lord. They become God, and you are the one who gets disappointed. And the very one that gets disappointed, the very one that we speak for, you come on our post to insult us. I hear somebody say this woman is confused. I hear somebody say she's angry. I hear somebody say you will talk for 6 years, you got long to go. I hear somebody say you're frustrated, you're confused, and you will stay long inside. And I get that. I get that. I'm sitting here in one of my studios. Literally, all my children are gone. I got one more left that will be leaving to go on campus to have her own life. And I'm speaking on your behalf, but you're telling me I'm confused. Okay, this man might change his mind, because that's what they're doing. Like, where they come, they talk a good game, and then in the back they sound the same thing, because temporarily the game. But what they don't get is they're selling the soul of the nation. They're taking the future away. All right. A young man in Burkina Faso, at 32 years old, now 34, had changed the whole dynamics of the world, but the way the world look at Africa, for that matter. A young man with your dream about all these experience, He has no managerial experience. He had never been a president. He had never been a senator, nor has he been a representative. All he brought to the table is the love of his nation, the continent, service, and vision to change the dynamics in the face of Africa. In 2.5 years, this boy had turned a desert into a fertile land. In 2 years. In 2 years, he had taken desperate people and given them hope and reason, a philosophy to want to even die for. But here we are, a nation 178 years old, with good English speaker and well-endowed people. Here we are. I'm looking right on this platform with a few people there, and the few people I see here, they're all professional people. The few people I see right under my post here, they're all professional Liberians, informed, educated in their field. But you want to take our personal information. I can tell you for free, if you get that going, if I come to Liberia, I will never change my driver license. I will use my US passport. It will never be given to you because I don't want my data in your hand. I don't want my information in your hand. But let's continue. Let's finish this gentleman. Let's finish this gentleman. And Miguel also is on here. Miguel is also on here speaking. So I want you to listen to what Miguel said while we're here.
Why should we do that? To benefit who? In my opinion, there is sufficient reason for the safety of the country, for the economic benefit of our country, that we advise the executive to table the implementation of this. Let our committee on transport or an actual committee, depending on the wisdom of the legislature, work with the executive to deal with this issue. Other than that, let the court decide. But we cannot take the place of the court, and we cannot put our people down. We cannot shortchange the country for the benefit of few people. Thank you.
So let me hear from Senator McGill, former Chief of Staff.
Okay, so we're gonna bring Senator McGill. Give me 1 second. I think it's down here. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring Senator McGill here. Where do I go? Where's Senator McGill? All righty, yeah, give me 1 second. I will bring Senator McGill. I want to hear what McGill said. Okay, so folks, listen here.
Responsibility to review all legal documents coming from this legislature. Said that I wouldn't say much, but here's what I want to say. The fact that we have two documents. I was staying in the mansion when the document came out, and the legal advisor to the president, who has the responsibility to review all legal documents coming from this legislature, said that the document that the traffic management is purporting that it is the law, it's not the law. So the government could not proceed to implement a concession when the government itself believed that the concession of the traffic management people were arguing was not the one the president signed. So how the president's signature got on the one they carried around, the government got confused. So for this government to...
When you say president, talking about the former president?
The former president at the time, the former president. So we could not implement... Yeah, I want to make it clear, the former president. And former president, we are so... You can't have two documents. Nowhere in the world that a government will operate on two documents. The concession here carry one document around, say this is a document. The government that gave the concession said, no, that one I signed. The one I signed did not carry the thing you are arguing about. So in my mind, we don't have a law. So it's really important that the legislature either repeal it, withdraw it. Even the legislature, the argument came back. I think the argument came back. We asked the legislature to go look in your journal to say, what is it that you passed? They were posted on the law we passed. The one we sent to the marshal is not the one the concessionaire is carrying around. So why are you implementing? Which law are you implementing?
Yeah.
So we have a tendency that people creating their own law, you make lawyer, somebody go change it either to the printing room and put president's signature on it. So the government could not enforce the law. So the government challenged the process. So it's really important that that law be cancelled because there are two laws you operate with. One, the concessionaire is arguing that they have a law. Two, the government that passed the law said that's a law that we send to the legislature. But the clarification I wanted to make, so it left everybody with the current government to say, what is it that you are implementing? The law that the concessionaire is carrying or the actual law that the president signed? Thank you, and you.
Thank you, Senator Momo.
So you hear that? So some sort of fraud is in the corridor. That whole damn construction need to be null and void. I don't know. Y'all come under my post, Brother Alfred. You're asking to have I if when I'm ready, if I change my mind where I am, I will let everybody know. Y'all know me. I don't hide. Okay? I don't hide. 2017, I endorsed Papier Boaka. 2023, I endorsed Alexander Cummings. Okay? So if you see me, I have been an advocate for 43 years. That's what I do. I support people based on philosophy. If I think they are good for Liberia and their philosophy align with mine, then I will support that person. Right now, I am a citizen that supports my nation for the right thing to be done. Guys, we're jumping too early, okay? We're jumping too early. That's why we don't give the people who we elect, we don't hold them accountable. We don't focus on them to make sure they do what they promised they would do. Then we divert our attention to something else, and then we end up not going anywhere. Right now, this is Papier Boaka's second year. My goal is to hold him accountable when he does well, that I think is beneficial to the people, that I will commend him for that. Like, for instance, the first time when he did an executive order and put money in the budget for the War and Economic Crimes Court. The second time around, there was no money put in the budget, although he renewed the executive order, which I believe it is deceptive, because you cannot operate without money to run an organization and try to run a justice system, especially one like the War and Economic Crimes Court. So I want Liberians to understand, when you come, Brother Alfred, when the time comes, I don't hide. At this point, I have built myself. All Liberians might not respect me, but I'm too big to hide. My name is everywhere. My face is on the U.S. Congress website, on the Human Rights website, on the Manisky website. Okay? In Georgia, there's a resolution in my name. Okay? So I can put my signature on paper, okay, to vouch for your child or for yourself as a character witness. I have lived my life that way. So I'm not in any hurry at this point. At this point, my focus is, how do we save Liberia? Okay. But I want to play this one last time with Mr. George Family. Where is that stuff that George Family had? So we all have listened to this. I want to play that, something that I played earlier, what George Family said in regards to the talents of Liberians, how wide it extends, that Liberians and why the people are doing what they're doing, because other people have done it before who came before, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. Okay, so I'm going to play this, and I'm going to play one more video, then I'm going to call it a day. Those of you who missed the show today, wow, I can barely see this. Is it 3? Okay, I'm going to do 2:55. Okay. So those of you who missed this show today, I would honestly ask you, go back and watch maybe the 2 hours and 55 minutes mark, or just maybe the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. Please go ahead and watch that and see, and you will know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and watch it. Okay. Go ahead and watch it. It will give you some perspective. Okay. It's really important. So here we go. To expand on for us, and the everyday Liberian, there is a word in fact, there are a lot of noises in the corridor in Liberia. The Liberian government is trying to sell our personal information to foreign agency and giving them contracts. Okay. Whereas Liberians are struggling with jobs. Okay. I think from the beginning, what he just said, this problem can be solved with putting in systems, okay, and processes. So I particularly want to know this ID, lesson plate, policing, road safety. Can Liberians do it? Do we have the capacity? If we do not have the capacity, can we build the capacity? We have been out of war for 20 years. Okay. Rwanda has done it. We see in less than 2 years, there's a young man right there in the Sahel that is trying to do it. We saw John McAfee started that. We see Mahama already saying, listen, we're going to reassess. We're going to manufacture our own gold. Before you take this out of this country, Ghanaians can do it. And in fact, before you open business in Ghana, okay, you have to be bringing something, and Ghanaians have to be partnered because they want to own their own economy, all right? How do we change this mentality that we can't? So that would be my question to you, George.
So let me tell you,
and you can tie into the process.
I just got a copy of that contract this morning.
Thank you. Talk to us about it, please.
The concession contract. And what is shocking about the concession contract, this is not a minerals contract where people have to bring in heavy equipment, they have to dig the ground, they got to build infrastructure to bring iron ore from Guinea and truck it through to Buchanan. This is not that. This is a services contract. It's a management and services contract, and they gave the contract for 25 years. It's one thing for the government of Liberia to say, okay, let's accept the argument that we don't have any Liberians that can do this right now. Just for the sake of this argument. This is the largest, the most educated generations of Liberians in our history. This group of Liberians right now in the world is the most educated group of Liberians in Liberia's history. We excel at every area of endeavor. You want brain surgeon? We got brain surgeon. You want heart surgeon? We got heart surgeon. You want physicist? We got physicists. You understand what I'm saying? We can cover every spectrum. Problem in Liberia, and I supported this government, is that the gatekeepers of the government have decided that they are going to see every contract that is let as their long-term security investment, even when they are out of government. Because there is nobody that can explain to me that if you put Lofa Julius in that company for 5 years and say you have 5 years to be management, to learn this process, okay? And Liberians should take it over. Let me tell you something, man. When I came to this country, I'd never seen a computer.
Me neither.
I had never seen a computer. I was able to learn to program computers. You got a man in Lofa Junior? They don't have that thing to the plane you coming from. You got it? But he was able to come here and learn it. So you know what it says? It says we can learn. But when you give out a 25-year contract for services, you know what you say to Lofa Julius? You can't learn. These people will do this work for 25 years. Now, let's talk about the data. I reviewed the contract. I did an analysis of it. Okay? Nowhere in the contract does it say that we own the data. It says after 25 years, they will hand the data over to us. Let me tell you a little secret.
Wow.
You know why we still are dealing with Liska? When Liska came to do the shipping, the Liberia shipping agency, you see, because I'm old, I know a lot of history. The Liberia Maritime Authority was the name of the organization before. It was run by a company called Intrusco, International Trust Company. All right? The fellow who was the head and the Tubman family had stake in Intrusco. When Charles Taylor became president, he decided that he was going to cancel the Intrusco contract. Intrusco sued. You can go online and you can do a search for International Trust versus the government of Liberia.
I'm doing it now.
Charles Taylor's government agreed to pay International Trust Company $15 million to exit the contract. The Cohen guy who ran Liska was originally an employee of Intrusco. He and Charles Taylor and them got in this deal, right, to now build the Liberia, the list, to build Liska. However, the deal was if the government gives us $2 million, the government will own the data.
I will stop here. You can go. The video is online. It's a Voice of Liberia. It came on today. It's at about the 2 hour and 55-minute mark. You can go ahead and listen to it. Also on my page, you can go and find those videos that I played earlier. But to end up, I want to play this video from yesterday. And viewer discretion is advised. I have no copyright to this video. Actually, all of you have watched the video. I don't need to play it on my platform. But it's about the video with the lady. Okay. As I noted, because I have half of the story yesterday, so I wrote based on that story. I know a lot of you came on my posts with your derogatory remarks. Listen, unlike most of you, I'm a logical person. If a video is sent to me, based on what I've seen, I'm going to make a decision based on. If other information comes out that comparable and is different, okay, I will make the adjustment to that. And that's what it is. Now, let me say, unlike your Vice President, Jeremiah Kuhn, I do not like that straight feel like most of your government official. For the other day, the lady from the World Bank have to call him out when he said the project of what they call it, the school project over there started under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The lady have to tell you no, it started under we are. I'm gonna give to Caesar what is due Caesar and to God what is due God. Do I think we are did well? No, under we are a lot of stuff happened. A lot of things happen, especially the killing and the rip. Okay, a lot of things happen. But whatever he did, we must give it to him. That's how I see it. I would give to Caesar what is due Caesar and to God what is due God. That's the way I see it. And most of you Liberians are not used to truth telling. You're not used to people who are upright. You're not used to decent women. You're not used to being emphatic. You're not used to people owning their word. And when they say you're not used to people talking and walking their talk. That's what leadership is about. But most of you don't know. You say it's the Liberian way. That's not my way. And I don't pretend. I'm not a transactional person, but I can be. I can be transactional, transitional, transformational, depending on what side of me you want to engage. And I don't mind at all. But I'm the person who built relationship. That if I build trust, what I believe in, I stand for it and I stand stern in it. I don't have to make adjustment for you. Okay? I've never seen who writes my paycheck. From the day I signed up years ago, okay, and the representative came, I signed all of the paper. I know the office that my check comes from. That's it. So I don't owe you an apology or an explanation, and I don't have to lie to you. So let me say this. Comparing both videos, I think the Liberian police need more training because police are trained to de-escalate. We are not, Liberia are not doing Donald Trump time where people can just do what they want to do, wear themselves masks and go do what they want to do. Okay? If somebody is stealing electricity, the last I checked, Mary Brock carry people in Brockville. They beat an innocent man and murder him under this government when it first came to power. We need to be very careful. And one policeman do that, policeman did not have to get into a fight with that woman. And that lady also attacked that policeman. At least that's what I saw. So I strongly believe there must be thorough investigation done so we can find out what's going on. I see the Giddy MSA and people are writing and people want to find out what happened to their citizen. Y'all can read America and say what happened to your citizen. But you know, when you're nowhere, everybody can grab you and clean the backside with you. Okay? That's the way it is in Liberia. Well, and I pray that this government does what is right, that they do not turn Liberian people personal information over to foreigners. Because in this digital age, that's very risky. You are literally selling the identity of your people to foreigners. That's what it is. So those of you who voted for this government, you heard my girl just say, when the president signed the document and it went out, when it came back, the information that were on it were different. That's why they challenged it. That's why they didn't implement it. So I don't think it's this government responsibility to implement it. Gregory Coleman and your group, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. I know you did this. The first thing of Ellie, you got away with it. You looted the nation, they brought you back in the Papa's name. You stop it because you will not get out with it in this time around. Stop it. This is not 2003. It's not 2005. It's not 2017. This is 2025. that every farm in Liberia, somebody has a digital electronic that they can communicate. You'll stop it. You'll start selling the nation. That's unpatriotic. You should live in a nation where 90% is unemployed. Your children are addicted to drugs, but you want to sell everything. You think those children have reason to wake up every day? You think they won't be doing what is right? Something to look up to? A future with their own friends and the family? And you want to sell everything? Folks, you have a good night. I am going to bed. I will see you next Tuesday, Saturday morning and Tuesday. Hopefully I'm going to